Well, as we've talked about, form is one of the clues by which we make sense of an utterance that we come across. There can be other clues, such as lexical clues or overt statements. There can be graphic clues. So there can be many clues, but certainly form is one of the chief ones. However, the genre, if you take the definition of genre as not in the text itself, but in the perceptions of the users, the producers and users. So for the original reporter in 1903 writing the article, they were writing a news article for the newspaper as they imagined it then, and for the audience as they imagined it then. If you are a historian, it's in the context of early 21st century history and the kinds of problems that you are looking at. So if you're looking at the nature of U.S. imperialism, you're looking for evidence in this article and what circulated as news at that moment. So you're looking at it as a historical document, you're looking at it through the frame of your current history, and you're also looking at it quite likely as a news item that circulated 106 years ago. On the other hand, depending on your interest in history, you may not be interested in it as news, but the newspaper as a site of record, that certain things, certain numbers wind up in there, or certain historical events, and you're not concerned about its newsiness. You're concerned about it as a source of certain kind of facts. And so again, your orientation to that text will be different. So yes, so these are very interesting questions, yes, but they become specific, and they're not knotty philosophic problems when you start to take the perspective of the point of views of the users. It just becomes very interesting sites of interaction. How a 1903 reporter winds up interacting with a 2009 historian.
Yeah, I agree that this is a very interesting question, but I think it suggests that we always interpret utterances in context. So we see that news item. If we also see the date on it, we have to understand it in the context of the news item of 1903, not the news item of 2009. And it also, I think, demonstrates again that the genre is not in the text, it's in the minds and agreements of the users. So we need to project ourselves in our empathetic imagination to understand it as a news item into, so far as we can, the minds of the readers in 1903, and understand how it could have been news at that time. And if we do that, and if we know enough about the history and society of the time, we can then begin to be sensitive to genre change. We can see that there are probably different conventions of news reporting in the early 20th century than are the conventions that we have become used to. So that can sensitize us to genre change as well. So it's a question of and this is the question, the issue that I think historians always have, is how to understand texts from the past, how to see them in their proper, how to see them as utterances in context with all the limitations that involves, rather than projecting our current knowledge back on them.